Hi, you're watching the Jeff Davis Show every Monday night, starting at 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. Bye.
Hello, folks. This is Jeff Davis with the legendary Jeff Davis Show from Central Texas, USA. And I love Mike Hanson Archives. Peace out, baby.
Hi there, what's going on? Come on in. Excuse me, hear this?
Boy, that is
I was listening to the Joyce Isaacs show. I never miss it. You never know what she'll do. Oh, I'm Sammy Allred. I work at KVET 98. Wonderful, and of course Joyce is on 1300 AM KVET. 10 to 1 every day. Be sure and tune in. You never know what to expect, and I'm trying to bring her up right. You get what I mean?
But we need to get some investigative place to start, wouldn't it? This is a wonderful place to start.
She's a great American.
From the location here at 705 North Lamar, from KVET, we're fixing to go in and talk to Joyce Isaacs. Short history on Joyce Isaacs. She's a beautiful blonde and sexy too. She's from Arkansas. She has dogs, and she's married to Glenn Isaacs, an architect, and she drives a red car with fuzzy dice. Somebody keeps on leaving a welding glove under her windshield wipers with the middle finger gone. We'll try to find out who's doing that before the story's over with. No wonder Eric Blumberg had to call in sick when he broke his leg playing volleyball.
I'm Brown with KVET, Kimberly and Bama Show. Joyce Isaacs, well, she's an expert in her field, and has an educational show. You ought to tune in and listen. You might learn something. And she's one of those that'll actually let you talk.
Whatever happened to Mel? Nothing.
I want to tell you, you could call 1-800-962-3524 and get any of your congresspeople. After all, they work for you, and you need to do that. And I want to tell you that tomorrow my guest will be Jeff Davis. Yes, I said Jeff Davis. And you talk about a hard way to go. Wait till he gets here. I'm going to put him in the hot seat. I'm Joyce Isaacs right here on the AM KVET at 10 o'clock. It's Jeff Davis. And I'm talking with, okay, but I want to tell you, I want to give you this number again, 1-800-962. That's 1-800-962-3524. And that number will put you in touch with any House or Senate member. Vic. Well, my computer, have you ever heard the word screamer? Get on the internet system. That's right.
No,
Oh, it's in Galen's book in the back. He talks about the Federal Reserve.
Huh?
The Spanker gun bill. Oh. Freedom is truly constant vigilance. Let's go to line 2 with Bill. Hi. Well, it is political. On the Joyce Isaacs Show on KVET, I'm going to have Jeff Davis, and boy, wait.
But tonight we're going to have this.
And tonight they're supposed to be having this. I hope this.
They don't even know about it
I
yet.
don't know who these people are. Okay, they just walked in here with the let's see, exposing himself or whatever, and the judge.
Pearl Harbor a month or so before it ever happened, and the word did slip out to some of the commanders there in Pearl Harbor that it was coming, but it was kept undercover, and the purpose was that FDR wanted an excuse to declare war against Japan, and so he had to allow the Japanese to bomb Pearl Harbor as an excuse to jump back on them.
Well, and that was the
catalyst.
Yeah, I guess.
Hi, I'm Dale Ross, author of this book, Who's Who of the Elite, and if you'd like a copy of it, you can call 800-410-5571.
One more time for the 800 number.
I'd give the number is 800-410 5571. If you'd like a copy of Who's Who of the Elite, it'll give you all the members of these 3 secret organizations.
Name them.
The Bilderbergs, the Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, and then the Skull and Bone Society.
Joyce, what I want to ask you is, a lot of people in the Patriot community say Jeff Davis is too hardcore. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I don't know if hardcore is exactly the word. I think he's not very open-minded, though.
As the producer of the Jeff Davis Show, I do want to tell you that we congratulate you for putting some of the alternate information out on the airways.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, Joyce, whatever happened to Mel Pennington?
Mel Pennington?
Nothing. One more question, Joyce. When we were filming outside, we found this on your car.
Yes, this glove, this welding glove.
Yes.
That's probably from my friend Paul Whalen, and I know that it's going to be a fun afternoon when I see one of these. I see you're watching Jeff right now, and you can hear Jeff tomorrow at 10 o'clock on KVET, 1300 on the AM, because he will be my guest. It's my pleasure on the Joyce Isaacs Show.
Jeff be able to get by the armed guards and the guard dogs?
Sure he will. Jeff Davis will see you tomorrow morning here at KVET.
Hello, Austin, Texas. We are back with Andy Larson. All right, son. Now, just briefly now, we've been talking about trying to keep the focus tonight on the how we're being violated by people who are supposed to be our public servants. And, of course, next Monday, folks, we're going to have some people live in the studio scheduled to be here. Surviving Branch Davidians, who I think, from my perspective, were very much violated to the point that they've had several of their family members murdered by people who are supposed to be our public servants. Next Monday night, the 25th at 7:30 p.m., we're going to be live, scheduled to be live with several members. You right?
And a reception at 9 o'clock.
Reception at 9 o'clock down here at ACTV, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be live with several of the surviving members of the Branch Davidians, which includes hopefully Clive Doyle, Catherine Madison, Sheila Martin, 50-50.
2 carloads, Jeff.
Yeah, 2 carloads of surviving Branch Davidians will be live down here on the Jeff Davis Show to take your all's phone calls, questions, comments, and again, from my perspective, these were people that were very much violated. Specifically, Andy, we've talked about car stops, searching of homes, the audits from the IRS, just the different invasions that this government of today is violating upon the American people. If you care to expand upon that.
I think you basically went over it, Jeff, and again, I think that people should be aware of what's going on and try to do something about it.
And that would be, I guess handling some of the symptoms is one thing, but we should be demanding that we're not going to tolerate helmet, seat belt laws, all of these saving ourselves from ourselves type laws where really there's a hidden agenda behind these things. Okay, we've got a full slate of calls, folks. We're going to go ahead and get them real quick. Just quickly, comment if you would.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
I saw Jeff on, or Ray rather. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was this fall sometime. He was talking about aliens. And then he showed a clip where he was on the some talk show, Jerry Springer, the Morakovich talk show. And he said he saw aliens every 4 years since he was a kid or something on time. I forget exactly what he said, but I never got the full story on his.
Well, call back. He's due in here in about 15-20 minutes. Okay, next caller. You're on the air.
Is that Jeff?
Yes, sir.
This is Tony.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, my friend?
Doing just fine.
What are we talking about, slave masters?
Well, what we're talking about, Tony, is things that I think that a lot of people don't. Just some of the basic symptoms of the problems that we've got. Seeing how we're being violated on almost a daily basis now.
Right. Well,
can you expand on that for us?
Yes, I can. You know, the whole thing is leading to one world government, and a lot of people don't want to accept that. I think it's some kind of dream, some kind of false conspiracy. But that's what the whole thing is leading to. They're trying to
so that they have total control, so that the citizens have no freedom and they like it. You see, it's a gradual brainwashing where the citizens are actually going to agree with it.
Right. I agree.
And
In fact, it's so. In fact, the reason why we're talking about these things then is I think that a lot of the public doesn't even realize that when a cop stops you and pulls you over, puts the lights on, pulls you over, and asks you to provide all this information, checks your trunk and all of this, you're being violated.
That's right.
A lot of people aren't even aware of that. They're not even thinking past the fact that they are being violated.
Well, they've totally thrown away the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I mean, they are just ignoring it and setting up all kinds of laws that are leading towards the one world government.
Are you familiar with the War and Emergency Powers Act?
Yes, I am.
The Constitution, as you know, was officially suspended on March 9th, 1933.
33, that's right.
Okay.
That's
okay.
right. And so this is what people need to be aware of and keep their eyes open to, is this total control that the elite are trying to achieve. You know, and I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but as long as we stay aware of it, then possibly there's something that we can do about it. Now, you know, I've been investigating these things for over 20 years, and my conclusion is that certain states are going to have to secede from the nation eventually.
What about the Republic of Texas?
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if this group is the one.
Yeah, I don't either. But on the surface, they appear to be against certain things that are, you know, that are good, that are not good. So.
Maybe you and I have to start a group, Jeff.
Hey, Bob, that leads me now. You've hung around here long enough now, and we've blown you off long enough now. I want you to leave your number with this call screener out there, and we're going to get back with you sometime this week.
Okay.
Because I understand you have some videos and everything. If you can contribute something to this show, Tony, I'm very open-minded to it.
Well, you're welcome, and I appreciate that thought. But,
yeah, call the comment line. That'd be either call the comment line or we'll put you on hold. But go ahead with your comment. But we'll go ahead and get your number here at the end here.
But anyway, this is something that I hope that that people here in Texas start thinking about, is that Texas would become a separate country with laws of freedom, with true freedom, where the government serves the people instead of trying to control the people. Because that's the correct purpose of any government, is to provide and serve the people.
Right, not take the lives and property. But what they're doing now, of course, is taking lives and property.
Well, right now they're being totally controlled by money interests.
You're right.
The helmet law and the seatbelt law and all those things, that's the bottom line is money every time on those issues. And the other thing that's very important, I think, that people here in Texas should start realizing is about income taxes, different taxes. It's another way to control people. I mean...
You know the history of the income tax, Tony? I'm quizzing you.
I do know most of it, yeah.
1914, the 16th Amendment was added, never legally ratified. Frankly, it's just been nothing more than a control by the bankers. It's right after the Federal Reserve Act was passed, December 23rd, 1913, and it was a way to siphon off some of the fiat currency that they knew would be inflationary.
That's right.
Oh, you see, so I'm just testing you,
no,
testing your knowledge here.
Well, I know you're very knowledgeable, Jeff. That's why I say that you and I should start a group.
Well, we're trying. In fact, we got a real nice little network going on right now. Andy, you would acknowledge that.
You sure do.
So, getting it done. In fact, we're doing quite well, Tony. That's why I say we want to bring you on board. Give us your provide information. We will definitely this week.
Okay, let me say one more quick thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. And if we did start a group to lead Texas into...
What's the name of the group?
We'd just call it Independent Texas.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to mention is that Texas is not legally a member of the United States government. In other words, Texas only belongs to the Union by an agreement that is agreed upon every year. It was never ratified by vote. So it would be real easy for Texas to secede from the Union.
In fact, it was illegally annexed. In fact, the whole thing about all these laws coming down from Washington are fraud, because that only applies to Washington D.C.
That's right.
You're aware, so all of these other states are sovereign states.
That's right.
Right. So you're go ahead, Andy.
Okay,
You have a
I'd
comment?
like to ask the caller, what are some of the things that are illegal right now that you'd like to see legalized?
Not yet. Give us another 5 minutes.
Well, I think a lot of the issues in alternative medicine would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Get rid of that AMA that's keeping us on the pharmaceutical. Or
That's
the,
right. I think the income tax is totally illegal.
Nice, gonna sit in here.
Okay.
Bring in another seat. Go ahead, Tony. You're doing good, bro.
The income tax is totally illegal.
What about property taxes? You know, the
Property
ones that get paid to pay for the government training centers.
With property tax, you never truly own your property.
That's feudalism.
Or your home.
Feudalism.
That's right, because if you don't pay your taxes, they can take it from you.
That's exactly right. Beautiful. Yes, Andy. We got some sharp fellas. Call the Jeff Davis show here. Yes, sir. See, yeah, we got some sharp callers. So we're serfs, right? We're right back where we were 200 years ago, right, Tony?
That's right. We are under what you and I always call them, the slave masters.
Yes, controlled by the slave masters. Now, let me ask you this. Do you see people waking up?
I think that if you and I start a group, we could wake them up. But other than that, I don't think it could happen.
Well, we've already got a little network here, but we're definitely in recruiting people.
You see,
we'll start working with Tony. You don't mind working with us, Tony?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I hope I can work with you quite a bit.
The more the better.
Okay, let me let you go because we got another segment. We're moving on. Yeah, let me put you on hold. Give us our number again, and we'll definitely get back with you.
Good.
And you got our comment line. Leave a message on our comment line as well. Tony, fantastic call.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Okay, let's wrap up these last couple calls, and then we'll put up a slate bring project to you. Okay, and then.
We'll have four y'all.
Okay, but Andy and I are going to sit in with them. Okay, go ahead. You're on the air, caller. Hello. You're on the air.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
God bless you. You're great, man. Hey, the last caller was right on, all the way, and.
Okay. Okay. Next caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Jeff. I just called back to tell you you're having some fantastic calls, and.
This is Alex Jones again.
You got it.
Okay,
I heard that one
Alex.
caller. It's right. I mean, I have to admit, I get on tirades because if people saw what's going on, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. I wouldn't be excited. But it's kind of like a Paul. I mean, I'm not comparing myself to Paul Revere, but it's like we're trying to ride down and say to arms, the redcoats are here, or whatever, and people are saying, big deal. It's always been that way. You be apathetic. You don't have any power, and that's what scares me, folks. Folks, we could have so much more freedom if we quit letting Hollywood and the media that is controlled by the elite 100% out all this pure BS to us. Listen, we need a streamlined government that serves the people, just like that last caller said, and just like Jeff's guest said. We need a streamlined government. I mean, the helmet laws, that's piddly compared to...
Yeah, it is. It's piddly, but it's still a symptom.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, think about that guy who called in, and you can tell he was totally sincere, and I've heard about these cases. In fact, it's even come before the Supreme Court before. The police will just bust in your house. In fact, cocaine dealer, and then here's your $4,000. The crackhead runs off, they bust in some insurance and kill him. I mean,
Ray.
And I mean, folks, I have seen all over the nation protest people who aren't even blocking doorways. We centered in this society. Literally lead any of their things that get persecuted. Anybody who tries to stand up for the Second Amendment, to bear arms again. Inanimate objects. If a drunk driver runs over somebody, you don't talk about the car in the newspaper. You talk about the drunk driver. Thanks a lot, Jeff, and I'll tune in next week.
Hey, give us a call on the comment line and plug our Davidian show on the 25th.
Well, let me say one thing about the
I'm going to have people out there watching the show, so.
Gotcha. I'll plug it several times on my
Oh, by
show
the
this
way,
week.
you coming down to meet them? We're having a reception
Listen,
here.
I'll come down. Listen, folks.
9 o'clock.
Listen, the
next Monday.
The Branch Davidians have been demonized, and I don't know exactly what went on, but they look like pretty good people to me.
Well, you come down and find out for yourself. Next Monday.
I don't trust anything that I see on the media now because I've seen such blatant garbage. I'll see something happen on C-SPAN, I'll see it on CNN, and it's pure bull. But let me just say this. I know this. I saw this in Arnold Inspector's Senate hearing, and it was watered down in Washington. I saw it live on C-SPAN a couple months ago, about 6 months ago. They pumped in a outlawed form of tear gas.
Cyanide.
That when it's ignited turns into a cyanide compound.
Right.
I saw that on the Senate. The FBI admitted it. They pumped something in that has been manufactured since 1969, is banned as a chemical weapon by the Geneva Convention. They brought that stuff out of storage on purpose. There's the proof. That is the proof. Get the congressional record if you don't believe this, folks. People have been doubting this all week. I said it on my show last week. And I'm not against the police. There's a good police. In fact, I think that's the key, and then I'll get off. We need to start having community outreach groups to the police and going and meeting with them and saying, law enforcement, we care about you. You're part of the people. This thin blue line stuff where they're trying to divide the police and divide the people, and it's a separate thing, that's being taught now in the police academies that police are separate from the people.
Well, let me remind you, several of those people that lost families to that cyanide and that fire in Waco, Texas, will be here live next Monday.
Absolutely.
And come on down and meet some of these people.
I'll do it, Jeff, and I'll plug them on my show because I may not have supported everything that went on with the Davidians.
That's not the issue.
Well, listen, exactly. I have no idea how they are because all I got was media screening.
Right.
And all I saw was those tanks ramming in and pumping in thousands of gallons of a banned gas. Now, I know that, and I know that's wrong. Again, I'm pro-law enforcement. The key is going up to a policeman you know and saying, what do you think about police busting into two lawful gun owners and shooting them? And I guarantee you, that guy was from South Austin who called. That's why he had a bunch of those socially elitists living around him, and they think a gun is, like the Antichrist incarnate, and they thought a den of serpents was living next door. Law-abiding citizens, and I'll say this and I'll get off, where in Florida, no matter Wyoming, wherever you are, whenever you get a concealed weapons law, the police are for it. The good police are 90% for it because crime goes down. And the numbers just came out. Crime has gone down since we got that. In Florida, it dropped dramatically. That's because criminals are pathetic, sneaking weaklings, and we got the same kind of criminals in our government. It's time to flush them out. Watch Jeff Davis next week. I'll see you, Jeff.
Thank you, brother. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put up a square. Okay, we'll be back with Project UFO people. So if you all have any questions concerning that particular subject, start calling in, folks. Okay, just bring in another chair. Hello, Austin, Texas. We're back with Project UFO, Ray and Robert. Go ahead, Ray. Just tell us what you got planned for us today.
Well, we're back. We've got a really good video for you tonight. Like I said, Robert's back. So we found Stephanie. She's been in Houston for about 2 months. She's supposedly supposed to be here tonight. I hope she makes it. If not, she might be watching at home. But she's going back to Houston. She apologizes for worrying everybody. Before we go to videos and call, first off, I just heard on the radio this afternoon the government's trying to claim that what brought down Flight 800 was a meteor. Now, how stupid do they think the American public is? They couldn't think of any other excuse, so hey, it's a meteorite. Anyway, if anybody has any comment on it, please call. Also, my other gripe is Mr. Tony, and I hope Mr. Tony does not call. Mr. Tony called me Tuesday, it was Friday, after we had our Thursday show. Now, I'm not trying to, how do you say, just stand up for it, or not really stand up for anybody, but give me a break. He was trying to tell me that the film of the shuttle that shows the UFO taking off, nobody knows Tony, but Tony is into this Pleiadian stuff and thinks that everything that's done is Pleiadians. I'm sorry, but there are other civilizations out there other than Pleiadians. Okay, I'm up to here with Pleiadians. He also was trying to tell me, he was trying to tell me that the ship that took off in that footage was Pleiadian. I told him, give me a break. You don't know that for a fact. He said, yes, I do. I said, no, you don't. You weren't on the ship. You weren't on the shuttle. You do not know. Okay? After that, he kind of got upset with me and said, oh, well, the Pleiadians don't like what you're doing. And I said, what are you talking about? Well, they don't like gay people. I'm like, well, give me a break. Okay? Any advanced civilization is not going to take anything like that into account. I mean, there is gayness in animals, in nature. Watch National Geographic, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox about that. And Tony, please don't call because I'll hang up on you. Anyway, let's take some calls.
A strange comment.
Well, you don't know what you're getting into, Jeff. Tony tried to befriend me and everything with all his stuff. You don't know what you're getting into because the man is a nut. I'm telling you.
Okay. Well,
he will bother you night and day, call after call. He will try to come over to your house every afternoon. The man doesn't work for a living, so I don't know.
Well, we've got extra help right
Well, let's go ahead and take some calls.
Well, Tony, if you're still watching, he probably is, because I just got a phone with him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. You don't know what you're getting into, Jeff. I went down this road already. The man is strange.
Call and rebuttal. Okay, let's go to some. We got 2 calls on the air. You're on the air, caller.
Yeah, Ray, I saw you a few weeks ago. You were talking about you were on the Maury Povich show, and you mentioned that you saw. I didn't get the whole story on. I was trying to watch your show to get the whole story about how you saw an alien at a particular time every 4 years or something like that.
It's not a particular time. It's every 4 years, right around March, April, May, somewhere around that.
And what did they look like?
So far, it was the little grays. The only ones I've encountered were the little grays for till about 4 years ago. I encountered these praying mantis-looking ones. They come in that triangular ship. I'd never seen anything else other than the little grays until that time.
And so you believe that the aliens really exist and it's not put up by the government or anything?
Well, like I told Tony, I'm a realist. I don't believe anything I can't touch, see, or feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes what you see is deceiving also. But if I can't touch it, feel it, I don't believe it.
Okay, did you touch it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and so you believe that there are aliens within the world, other civilizations, etc.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for your call. Okay, next caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi Ray, this is Mike. Hey Jeff, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, and you?
Pretty good. A couple of things. Comment about Flight 800.
Uh-huh.
Could it have been a missile?
Well, that's what everybody thinks. That's what I think it was.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that memo that the Secret Service guy gave to
Pierre Solinger.
Right, is trying to bring out that same. Well, not the same. A Secret Service agent came over to my shop and showed me a memo like that, and that's what I've been telling people all this time for the past month and a half, that it was a missile. And the government needs to fess up to it.
The first deal they came out with was it was either a bomb or a missile. It's like, hey, this is
Well, FBI came out and said it's a missile, and then the White House says, "Oh, no, it's not. We don't know what it is yet."
The first time, Ray, it was militias and Eastern.
No, well, the first time on CNN, FBI came out and said it was a missile. Then the White House came out and said, "No, that's not our statement. It's not a missile. We don't know what it is yet. We're not going to say what it is yet."
Right, definitely though. It came from the water up, and it wasn't from a UFO.
Thank you.
Okay. Implant question. Had you ever checked yourself out to make sure you didn't have one? To know for sure. And the other part of that, have you ever heard of implants through the ear canal?
The only thing that's really strange on me is there's a object which is close to my spinal cord, and the doctor couldn't figure out why it was there or what. He said he would not even think about taking it out because it would paralyze me.
All right. Have you ever heard of implants done anywhere else, like up the nasal passage or in the ear canals? Or
Nothing. I've had it x-rayed, nothing.
I might add that there's a team of doctors in California now that have been actively taking out implants from patients, and they're doing it free of charge.
Yeah, but I mean, where are they mostly coming from? On the body?
All over the body, from everywhere. There's no certain spot in particular. They're coming from everywhere.
And is there any type of electromagnetic detection deal where you could use to,
Well, they have been run through an array of different tests. I don't know whether they're electromagnetic or not, but they certainly do seem to be something of a carbon-based object, but they are real.
The next time I come on, I'll bring a book that shows pictures of all the different implants. They have actual pictures of them. They're starting to investigate them now.
Well, I mean, I guess are the most of them, are they a silicone-based or are they a metallic-based? So
They're-
that, so it's like a metal detector type
I
deal.
think they're both. They're both. I just got a question from somebody who didn't want to come on the air. And it's a good question. Do you think that perhaps there was a passenger on board Flight TWA Flight 800 that the government wanted to get rid of, so they blew up the plane? It's a good possibility. Look what happened to Clinton's.
Anybody checked into that? Who was the what was the passenger list?
I don't think they've even given it out yet, have they?
I'm not sure whether they put a listing out or
Double
not.
check that with the who's list and all those other lists.
It could very well that could very well be the case. You never know. Or it could have been a personal vendetta that somebody had brought upon somebody else. They've already investigated that. They've asked those painful questions.
Okay. Cool. Appreciate your call, man.
Yeah, I had the one last call if Jeff has got time to cover it.
Yeah,
the show I missed was all the stuff on the lights around town. You know, the traffic lights, all the different apparatuses are strapping onto these things, and I know they have various usages and plus what they're actually telling they're for, but that was a real interesting show, and I only got to catch glimpses of it, so if there's every chance you get to recap on that deal in the next couple of weeks, please.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I want to just mention this. It's up to you all, because it's,
Choppers carried out covert government missions for years. Now the people of one Texas town are out to expose what they call a conspiracy.
There was a black helicopter spraying some white powder.
It's bizarre. It's like an invasion.
What's behind this helicopter hell?
A lot of people in the Lone Star State coming up with a lot of conspiracy theories. Steve Langford reports on the helicopters and health problems that have hit Austin.
It's the sound.
It sounds just like a tornado.
They were so loud that they shook the windows.
That's how they know they're back.
It was huge. You could see the machine gun mounts on them and everything, and they were black.
The black helicopters.
9 children all came down sick at the same time.
The whole side of my car was just covered with dead gnats.
Austin, Texas is a peaceful, laid-back kind of place, just like its favorite son, Willie Nelson. At least it used to be. Until the black helicopters arrived.
It's bizarre. It's like an invasion.
Suddenly, people all over Austin started seeing them, with some saying they'd been harassed and maybe even poisoned by the things.
I can confirm black helicopters are swarming all over Texas and the rest of the U.S., harassing citizens, police, anybody that gets in their way. Black helicopters, the strike force of the New World Order.
Alex Jones is a popular radio talk show host with Austin's KJFK, and he's been investigating and reporting on the mysterious black helicopter phenomenon for years.
It reads like a science fiction novel, but it's really happening.
Until recently, the government, the military, and law enforcement had denied the very existence of black helicopters. But now, authorities concede there really are such things.
Yes, black helicopters are real. They're here to take care of you. They're for anti-terrorist training.
But Jones and others suspect the black helicopters are the real terrorists.
You're talking about SS Cavalry right here in America.
The sinister-looking unmarked choppers have been reported buzzing homes, following motorists, landing unannounced in schoolyards, and even dropping a mysterious white dust on Austin neighborhoods.
See, it smears like paint.
Norma Rubel says her car was covered with the stuff after a black helicopter flew over her house.
Looked like somebody took a spray painter and sprayed it.
City officials examined the mysterious substance and declared it cedar ash from a nearby forest fire.
There's no way it looked like cedar ash.
And she says nobody can explain what else she found on her car. Thousands of dead gnats.
Something killed them.
Meanwhile, others who have seen the black helicopters fly over their homes say the dust might have poisoned them.
All of my kids and myself all got sick with stomach trouble.
And the Hopkins family suspects a government cover-up.
I think most people would like to be able to just say, well, our government would never do that.
Alex Jones insists it would.
They've tested what's been sprayed out of the helicopters. It has salmonella and other type bacteria that you would find in garbage.
Jones suspects it's all part of secret government preparations for a possible state of emergency.
We see a lot of indicators that the military is preparing for martial law.
And Jones is not alone.
The government has more control than they need, and I think that the black helicopters probably have something to do with it.
We're in the equivalent of 1936 Germany. Hitler's just now getting his power, and they're getting ready to really clamp down.
Stay tuned right here for more classics on this channel here, Hanson Archives. But to fund this station, I'm offering, if you send us $25, we'll send you a signed copy of Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy. It was forwarded by Tex Mars that just recently passed away. Also, Alex Jones has a chapter in here. And you know that's good. There's us in our younger days. But on the address that you see, send us $25 and we will send you a signed copy, or give us a call at 830-672-3089 and you can put it on a credit card. We'll send it right out. But that's what we need to help fund this channel, folks. So help us get all the classics uploaded to YouTube. We got hundreds and hundreds of old Alex Jones and Jeff Davis and a bunch of other patriots that we need to upload. About 25-year-old tapes.
I love Mike Hanson Archives. Yeah! Are you ready to run?